will be made to be so tight-lipped about season 3, but it is, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be epic. It's going to be big.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So Comic-Con is coming up and they just made some big announcements for Game of Thrones Season 4. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a preview about what we're going to find out at Comic-Con and what's going on with Season 4. So last year, George R.R. Martin actually moderated the Comic-Con panel. He's not doing it this year, but he is on the panel. He's doing a lot of other stuff at the con, but let me just read off some of the people who will be there. John Bradley, he plays Samwell. Amelia Clark, who we all know as Dany. Nikolai Coster-Waldau is Jaime. Peter Dinklage as Tyrion. Michelle Fairley as Catelyn Stark / Lady Stoneheart. Kit Harington and Rose Leslie and Richard Madden. Even though a lot of things happen to them at the end of season 3, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen those episodes yet. You should check it out. It's pretty gruesome and pretty awesome. So a couple of the big names that were left off were Lena Headey, Sophie Turner, and Maisie Williams, who are all like a big presence. I feel like they're all running this viral Vine campaign right now that's really funny. Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner are pretty hilarious, so if you're not following them on Twitter, you should check them out. So why aren't they going to be there? Well, season 4 actually just started filming this week, so obviously there's no footage yet that they're going to show off, so they won't be showing off any footage from season 4 at the panel. They will be talking a lot about behind the scenes of what's going on and what they're doing differently with season 4, and maybe even some teasers for the future of the series. That is just the television series. George R.R. Martin himself is actually doing a separate panel just for some of his novels. He's not going to be talking a lot about A Song of Ice and Fire material. He'll be talking about some of his other books. So the actual Game of Thrones panel is Friday afternoon. I'll be uploading the footage from that panel late that night, so be sure to subscribe to get that video. I'll also be posting a rundown of all the really important stuff they talk about and any good spoilers. So if you remember, I did a casting video for the Red Viper. They just cast that role, and there's still a couple roles they haven't announced yet, like Mace Tyrell. So I have a feeling that we're going to find out who some of those cast members are at the panel. They're obviously not going to be there just because there's a limited space on the panel, but we might get to find out who they're going to be. Plus, if you remember, HBO is really good about showing off bonus footage. They're really good about posting free bonus content, so it's really amazing. So I have a feeling, if you remember how the Stark children were beatboxing on the last DVD set, I have a feeling that some of the Vine videos that Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner have been making will make it onto this year's Blu-ray release. If you haven't seen them, all their Vines are available. You have to scroll through their Twitter feed though, but they're really funny. The other big bit of news that they just announced is that Neil Marshall is going to return to direct the season 4 finale. It's just significant because obviously they just started filming and they're already talking about the finale. They didn't talk about what they're going to be doing in the finale. They didn't talk about Lady Stoneheart or any of the other big, WTF moments that could happen. But as Catelyn Stark is actually on the panel, there's a good chance that she could be coming back to the series. But then again, Robb Stark is also on the panel. And after the events of season 3, spoilers, sorry, I won't mention it, we're not really sure what's going to happen with those characters. That's your cue to search my queue for the videos from season 3 so you can find out what happened to them. Don't worry, if you want to find out, I did a lot of videos for it, so you can find out that way. I do have a feeling that a big point of discussion will be the material that will deviate from the books in season 4. If you remember, they're going to combine a lot of elements from the second half of book 3 and book 4 to be part of season 4. But they're also going to deviate a lot from that story, as a lot of people that have died aren't dead, and a lot of people that aren't dead in the series have already been killed off, just in favor of keeping the cast really small. So in other big news, Kit Harington, who's going to be there, is also doing another panel with Matt Smith from Doctor Who fame that I'll also be trying to upload the footage from. That'll be in Ballroom 20, and I think it's on Thursday, so expect that footage too. So I'm really excited. That's actually a panel for a bunch of different big hero actors. So it'll be like Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow, Matt Smith plays Doctor Who, and a bunch of other actors from other big series like The Walking Dead. So it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, be sure to subscribe below to get all my Comic-Con videos. In the meantime, you can check out my other Comic-Con previews by clicking here, and you can check out some big news for Korra Season 2 by clicking here. Get excited, Game of Thrones is going to be awesome at Comic-Con. High fives, everyone. Woo!